Reef DVMs here, coming at you with our eggplant jelly recipe. This is a great sweet jelly. I like it a lot. Just want to share it with you. Get yourself some rings and some lids for canning. Make sure you certainly have some cinnamon around. I like to use some ginger. We got to use some whole cloves or some cloves that at least in powder form. Get some jars, some butter, lemon juice. Certainly get a bowl or two. Get some sugar, some salt ready. And of course, I love eggplant. Whether you get Japanese style or not, doesn't really matter to me. Just get some really nice dark purple eggplant. In this case, we're looking for about 3 pounds. I'm going to take my eggplant here, and we're going to cut the stem off each end. And then, if you want to have it purple, you certainly can leave the skins on. I don't. I like the amber color, so we're just going to peel these skins here off. And once we get it peeled off, we're going to chop it up. And basically what I'm looking for here in my bowl is about 3 pounds of chopped up eggplant. So that's what I'm after here. This is going to take a little bit of time, so see if we can speed this up so you don't have to watch me peeling every single eggplant here. It's okay if the eggplant, by the way, while you're cutting it up, turns a little bit darker color, because again, I don't mind the amber color to the jelly. So if it starts to discolor because it's taking a while to chop it up, that's not a big deal. You don't have to worry about keeping it in a salt brine or anything like that. I find it's just as easy just to chop it up, put it in a bowl, and if it takes you 15-20 minutes to chop it all up, so be it. Once we get this in a bowl here, we're going to actually take the 3 pounds of eggplant over to the stove. I like to use about maybe 3 cups of water. Really, the amount of water just has to do with how thick you want that jelly. But I'm going to use about 3 cups, and we're going to actually cook this down to a mush, okay? So here we go. We got some hot boiling water. I got 3 cups here. I'm going to add my eggplant to it. See if I can do it here so that you can actually see it. I'm not used to having a camera there on my right side. We're just going to fill this, bowl up here, and we're just going to cook it. Now, this take, several hours to cook down, so we won't show you all that. We'll see if we can time lapse it here and get through that process a little quicker for you. But we're just going to put the heat on about number 2, or what somebody would call maybe medium or medium low, and we're just going to start the cooking process. As you can see, this is a little bit later into it. We're about 30 minutes into it now, and we're starting to get kind of a foaminess to it. That's fine. You can always skim the foam off later if it bothers you. But the eggplant is becoming mushy. It's cooking down. This is just what we want. And this is a couple hours later. I've had the top off it now to help it get rid of some of that steam and evaporate and cook down. It's doing really, really good. Now, what I'm going to add here is I'm going to add my 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, my 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter to help it from frothing, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of cloves and 3 teaspoons of salt. I'm mixing that all in. At this point, this has the consistency of jam, and I'm sure if you wanted to make a eggplant jam, this is what you could do it with. I'm going to add some lemon juice to it. I add about 6 tablespoons, and I actually add the lemon juice to also help the pectin set. I found that works really good with my jellies, to add some lemon juice to it. Again, at this point, we're going to add some sugar. Now, I know I said that we needed a lot of sugar. I like about 6 cups of sugar. I'm only going to add 3 here, though, at this point, when it's in this kind of jam or mush state. Again, I'm going to add the other 3 cups when I want to do my pectin, when I get it into more of a jelly state later. So I'm just going to fold this in and continue to cook it. It's really hot right now, but it's not a rolling boil. So I'm just keep cooking down this mash to the consistency that I want so that I can put it into the strainer next. I like to get some of the sugar in now so that basically it gets the flavor along with all those other things, so that when I put it into the strainer, I get the juice with that flavor in the strainer. So, strainer I like to use, I just have a metal one here. I'm not a big fan of what type you use. If you want a more pure jelly, you're certainly welcome to use cheesecloth. The straining process can take up to a half hour, 45 minutes for all the juice to get out, so we won't bore you with that. We'll speed it up here once it's done. But as you can see, it has kind of a nice amber color to it. It's not a green. The ladle is green. This is definitely an amber kind of brown color. It's a very pretty color. It's a little different considering most jellies are red. I'm going to pour this back into my pot and start to recook it here. And this part we're going to cook with the pectin now. I like to use 2 packages or 1 box of liquid pectin. I don't like to use the box powder version. What I mean by box is that it has to be the liquid, and inside the liquid there are 2 packages of pectin, and I will put them both in. Works really good the way I do it. I get a nice firm set, and then I'm going to bring it to a boil with the pectin in it. And again, there is some sugar in this from when we made the 3 cups of sugar in with the jam, but I'm actually going to add another 3 cups to this after I put the pectin in, because that's very important. Remember, pectin first, then sugar when you want to get it to set. But first I'm going to get this really hot and get it into another boil here as I get this last pectin in. So now all the pectin's in. We've got to get it really hot and get it boiling here. And then I'm going to fold in my sugar. Once I get that sugar in, I'm going to bring it right back up to a boil for probably no more than a minute. Once I get that boiling for a minute, we're going to go right to our jelly jars. In this case, I'll probably be using half-pint jelly jars just because they store really well for us. So now this is the last of the sugar. That was 3 cups back at the jam process, and now 3 cups into the jelly process. So I got a total of about 6 cups mixed into this. It'll have a nice sugary flavor with that ginger and cinnamon and clove flavor with it. It'll be really nice. So I brought it to a rolling boil for a minute. I bring it over to the island. Use my wife's hands here to help us out. And we're going to jar these up. I'm going to leave about, maybe an inch or so of head space. And my wife is going to take a cheesecloth here, and she's just going to wipe the edges so we get a nice seal with those jar lids. The jar lids have been washed in warm water, so they're all set to go. The jars themselves were put through the rinse cycle on the dishwasher to get them nice and warmed up. That way we're not at risk of breaking them when we set them into that hot boiling canner water. Here's our canner. The water is boiling. As you can see, it's steaming up the camera. We're going to see if we can process here 7 of these jars. I like to process for about 10 minutes in this boiling water, and then we'll take them out and we'll let them cool down. Once these things cool down, those lids will, slowly seal themselves, and you'll hear the pop of those lids. And then about maybe, I'd say 30 to 40 minutes later, the jelly will set up as that jelly cools down, and you'll have a beautiful amber color eggplant jelly. And believe me, people, it's got a wonderful cinnamon and clove and ginger flavor to it. I love it. It works really good on bagels. I know a lot of people like vegetable bagels. It works on that, but personally I like it on the raisin bagels. It just tastes excellent. Thank you for watching. Again, if you like seeing us do this kind of stuff with these home-cooked farm recipes, please like the video or subscribe to our channel. As you know, we also do some tractor videos and also do some reef stuff. So thank you for watching and have a great night. Peace.